Hey you, so on this video, best ways to accumulate more gold for free. I'm going to be going over a couple of ways that could be options for individuals. Now, for free could, be stretching it a little, but you can accumulate more gold technically for not paying no money. So it's going to be a few ways that I've tried and tested myself, and I'll just put them out there for individuals that are interested, and maybe you could go ahead and leave some ways that you may know of how to accumulate more gold. Now this is going to be focusing on mainly if you want to increase your gold stack but not pay more money. So one of the first ways I would touch upon to accumulate more gold for free is by flipping coins. A no-brainer really, but if you wanted to be able to pick up some gold, you could maybe get into something like a really hot desirable silver piece, as I've done in my last video mentioned. Some of these are fantastic for flipping in the short term, especially if they're hot off the press. You're able to then sell this coin for more than you purchased it for, as an example here, and then you can go on to use the proceeds to acquire some gold, whether it be a ½ ounce, a quarter ounce, or anything of the likes of. You can take what you initially put into whichever coin. It doesn't need to be a silver coin flip we're referring to. Shout out to IKEA as I break this bad boy out of the case. And it's been a way that I've been able to accumulate and increase my gold stacks on the house really, and it's a way I don't think many really take advantage of, but it's definitely worth taking advantage of, because if you're stacking one and flipping one, I've always said for me, when I'm purchasing these collectible coins, it's for the flip to help. My main priority is to increase my investment normal bullion stack, gold and silver. So I'm picking up these pieces, paying the higher premium with intentions of flipping them to go on to acquire more weight. And it's worked for me in the past, and I definitely think it could work for an individual if they wanted to accumulate more silver or gold. So that would be one of the first ways to accumulate your gold stack on the house really, and that's to purchase coins and flip coins. It may not be something that you're into, but you could be surprised, especially if you steer clear of it and you take a punt. As with anything and everything, there's most definitely a risk involved. So it's not for the absolute novice, but a lot of the things I'm going to be mentioning here wouldn't be for the absolute individual just starting or getting into it. I always recommend individuals build up their foundation first before they really start, freestyling or remixing about. So the second best way to accumulate more ounces for free, I would say, would be trading. Now trading, I'll put this down to trading with a dealer first and foremost. Now why I say with a dealer is because you can trade with other individuals, on forums or basically Facebook groups, or even on YouTube and the likes of, but they're going to be as switched on as you are. Now, I'm not saying that you're looking to shaft them over with no lube, but I'll give a prime example. I recently acquired another lion off of a friend. Now, on this trade, I actually, when I done the video beginning of the year, when the Royal Mint wasn't selling these for such crazy premiums, they were selling for very handsome premiums. I done a video instructing and telling a lot of people. I sounded the alarm, and he capitalized on a few of these. The price at the time was fantastic. I think they're now selling these pound sterling around £1,500, so give or take, I don't know where that is, $1,900. But at the time, they were selling these for around £950 you could have picked these up for. So it was down near spot bullion prices they were selling these for. And he capitalized on this. Now, I did feel kind of bad doing this, but I offered him for the lion this standard 2018 Britannia and one of these pandas. So what he technically was able to do, and there's a prime example of trading, was able to acquire an extra gram on the house. Now for him, and rightfully so, it's just an ounce of gold. You'd have to be switched on and logged into our scene of, collector coins to know what they're currently selling for. In the UK, you could take this to a dealer, but they're not going to pay you the kind of prices the majority of the UK dealers are selling this for now. In Europe, or near the German and Belgian dealers, you would get that extra premium because they sell it at that extra premium. Not saying that the UK dealers don't, but here they'd sooner pay you, maybe you may get spot or a little above than the true value for what you can currently get for these coins. So he was able to get an extra gram of gold on the house. Now, that was from me out to him. Why I say a dealer is I believe I could have easily, or still could, get anywhere from a dealer. If I was to approach a dealer, for instance, with the Gold Lion, I could get somewhere from an extra quarter ounce maybe. And now this would have to be, from my experience with a dealer, and why I'm mentioning a dealer, it would be more of a highly desirable collector piece for your average bog standard 1 ounce Britannia, minimum a quarter ounce. So that is most definitely, and I found dealers are more inclined to do it because they get these at a small markdown, and they know, and they will only do it if they know they can really go on and sell this for more. This is a desirable bullion coin, even though it was technically sold at around bullion prices at the time, a very small percentage over spot. So this is a definite good way. You've got a real hot piece. And as I've mentioned, for me, it's always been dealers. I could approach a few dealers. Dealers have their buyback prices up in Europe where I'm easily able to trade this in. Now, I could really maximize if I was to sell this on privately, and that is the best bet if you want to get maximum dollar. Now, this is also an opportunity, but it's not more so. It takes more work. And you'd be on the likes of eBay or to another individual that understands the true collector potential in this piece. But a dealer does know that, but they'll be a lot more, inclined and easy going with a hot piece for, you could basically say, a bog standard average piece, which is going to be your standard Britannia, and then maybe a half ounce. Well, you should be so lucky, but they're down there selling at that price, half ounce Britannia. I've had trade proposals as of recent where I've had one of the Rwandan pieces and I've been offered anywhere up from 5 ounces of gold eagles for a trade. So getting into the right hot pieces and doing trades is most definitely a way of increasing your gold stack for free. Of course, you're going to need to be at a certain level when you're doing this, but it's a build up, and I'll touch upon that on the next one. Now with these, I did have the quarter ounces, which I eventually went on to trade out. I didn't get maximum for those, but at the time when I had the quarter ounce, I done a video of those, the quarter ounce tube. I personally got into those because, it was going to be more of a scarcer coin, but I'll touch upon those on the next reason I'm bringing up. So that would be the second way to accumulate a lot more gold ounces on the house, and that's going to be trading. Sometimes if you've got the right piece, and especially if it's a collector piece, a dealer will be, a lot more easygoing if you want, a piece in return of the same weight and then extra, because you're always going to be selling it for more of a profit. So that's going to be the second best way to accumulate more gold ounces for free. And now the next way, as I was just mentioning, is going to be via buying larger quantities. Now when I say that, I mean going whole ounce. From my own personal experience selling in the UK has been the best option. I've sold anywhere from the quarter ounces, the 1/20th and the likes of, and what's worked best and what the dealers prefer are going to be whole ounces. Now with gold, I haven't sold that much into European dealers, but it's always going to be easier and better for me to sell gold if I'm selling to a UK dealer. Now, as I was just touching upon the quarter ounces, and I'll explain why it's better to go whole ounce. As we all know, with the fractional sizes, you do pay an extra premium. So you could look at it like this: if you wanted to stack up, say for instance, an ounce of gold, if yours going for smaller, 1/10, even 1 gram, by the time you touch an ounce, you've damn near paid the price of an ounce and a half, and maybe a lot more. Now, this isn't for everybody. If your only option is to stack fractional, by all means go ahead and do that. But I would say if you could, really apply that discipline and save the money if possible. I know some individuals have mentioned, paycheck to paycheck if they're freelance, or, within the time you get the next big payout could be months apart. Then by all means, that could be your best option. But if possible, you're able to actually acquire more gold for less when you're purchasing by an ounce than via smaller sizes. Now, I only did pick up, touching back on the quarter ounce lions that I had on the quarter ounce lions, because at the time the Royal Mint didn't really know what they was doing with the Queen's B series, and so they was winging it. So the talk around town was the lion was going to be the only one, which made it extremely desirable, and that they was even scarce at the time, individuals getting a hold of them. The downside to that was what I fell into and played into, was that I did end up picking up a large quantity of them, as I done a tube, amongst the tube I referred to them. But I ended up paying a slight more premium to only find out that not only was a load more released into the market, but the Royal Mint would continue doing the quarter ounce. Now, they clearly stated at one point when I spoke to them that they would no longer be doing the quarter ounce. So the course of action I took over a period of time was I did release some to a dealer, I'd say half of them. I barely broke even. The spot price on gold was semi-decent at the time. And then I done a private sale with a few individuals, and I ended up, funny enough, pumping a lot of the proceeds into acquiring the whole ounce, which has gone on in my eyes to be the better purchase of them all. So whereas we once upon a time thought the quarter ounce would be more desirable because it was appealable to a lot more individuals, it turns out the whole ounce has been. And this is what I'm saying. Normally, when you go higher than an ounce, premium should come down, but it's around an ounce, it works out across the range, whether you're going up 250 grams or the likes of. So I would say that is another fantastic way to accumulate more ounces if possible, buy larger sizes ideally. The industry sweet spot, and that's going to be the 1 ounce. I would only, moving forward, purchase fractionals in sovereigns, whole sovereigns for me, and this is UK based, so for anybody wherever you are on the planet may want to look into the best fractional for yourself. When it comes to collector pieces, I'm not really so going after any of interest currently. Nothing's caught my eye when it comes to fractional gold. Whole ounce gold is what I'm all about, whether it's going to be selling and liquidating or anything of the likes of. It's whole ounce gold. For fractional, for me, if you're UK based, I would say it's the only coins I've come across where dealers, normally in the UK, you'll get anywhere from 98% buyback on spot. If you purchase from them, it could be 99%. When you go fractional, it gets a little lower. But with sovereigns from the UK dealers I've sold to, the same rules apply basically. If you've purchased from them, they'll more than likely give you 99% spot back, or 98% if you haven't. So I'll be increasing these over a period of time, and this will be the only fractional coin I really get into. When it comes to the Queen Beasts and the likes of, they are nice, but they're not for me. I'm able to go higher, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So I will give a silent mention on a means here that I would say is a lot more for advanced individuals, and that would be another way of accumulating more ounces. Now I'm going to be touching on this. There are many other things you could put your funds into. I've mentioned in the past, whenever I sell my metals, I like to put it straight back into metals, but as of recent I have liquidated some and I put it into BTC, and this is the mention here. Now you could put it into properties, stocks, shares, even paper, gold and silver, and acquire more, but I'm speaking on a means that I've personally done, and it is becoming more and more closely related. I mean, we have the largest dealer, Crooks, Atmex, that take BTC for purchasing precious metals now. I'm mentioning you could take an ounce of gold, for instance, sell it and put that into the right altcoin. When we're talking BTCs, I see that as the main driver for all of the cryptocurrencies. You need to purchase with BTC and then sell out with it. But there's fantastic opportunities with many of the altcoins, and that's what I got into. And I took a small amount, put it in there, and I was able to greatly multiply my money, which enabled me to purchase these here, which I've been displaying, and that was a 2018 coin. So that was a way there where you're able to accumulate more gold technically from selling precious metals. Now, individuals I know have personally done this, came out of metals, gone into crypto, and they've caught the crypto bug and they've never looked back. I'm a lot more stable. I know what real money is, and I need to be able to feel and hold mine and have more faith and trust in mine. So I would say doing that move there to accumulate more ounces is definitely something I would say is for the more advanced users. I would definitely not recommend that for anybody getting into stacking, or, in the end of the day. Why? Because it's a lot more risky and it takes a lot more work on both ends. There's thousands of cryptocurrencies out there, from altcoins to the main big bad boys on Coinbase. It takes a lot of investigating work, and you could take chance on your end, and it is very risky and hated within the coin community. But this is why it would be a silent mention. It's something that I've personally done, and I've been able to acquire more ounces on the house technically from doing it that way there. So this is just going to be wrapping this video up. a video on best ways to accumulate more ounces for free technically. It'll be fantastic to hear of any ways that you may know. If you've done paper, gold and silver ETFs or anything the likes of, and individuals have mentioned this to me in the past, that it's a fantastic way for them to accumulate more ounces and less risky as they believe. But it's not nothing that I've personally looked into, but if you have, it'd be fantastic to hear. So hey, I love it guys, it'd be fantastic to know what you think of this video. Don't forget to come and follow me on the links that I've left in the description. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll catch you guys on the rebound.